What do Project Cars fans want? Well, I'm sure there's an awful lot of little things, but it's basically going to boil down to wanting more Project Cars, really. But also for Project Cars to be doing more stuff. That's what all the big numbers from the Project Cars 2 announcement on Wednesday was all about. There's now over 170 cars, there's over 60 tracks, there's more racing disciplines, more brands, more esports, and just more stuff, you know? But at its core, this is still going to be Project Cars. And going hands-on with it, it's kind of difficult to get a feel for where all of the differences are between the original game and its sequel, especially given the small amount of quite restricted content we had available to us. There was a race at Fuji Speedway in the dry, one with more changeable conditions to show off Live Track 3.0, and then I had a torrid time tiptoeing my way around the Mercedes-Benz driving events winter training ice track in Sweden. To be fair, SMS did tell me that they're still working on the physics of driving on ice, so at the moment it's too slidey, too easy to wobble back and forth, and it's not quite like their recent real-world testing showed them it was. So, just to give you a glimpse of it, but not really go too in depth with the ice driving, here's 15 seconds of footage from that, and then we'll get back to Fuji. And that time starts now. And enough of that. Okay, so back to driving on track, and yeah, as I said, it's difficult to get to grips with what's going to be different because there's going to be assists and stuff like that, but it is true that an awful lot has been changed under the hood. You're just going to have to dig deep to see it. The ice driving, for example, that uses the new surface model that can handle shifting surfaces, and as I mentioned already, Live Track 3.0, which encapsulates everything from the time of day and weather effects to the track evolution. The more that you get, the more that cars drive on it and rubber it in. In fact, that can now be persistent from one session to the next, giving that kind of approximation of real-life race events that run over the course of a weekend. Visually, this is stunning, especially as it's being publicly played on high-end PCs, and Live Track 3.0 helps to make those weather effects absolutely gorgeous. The demo here at Fuji was shifting from nice and dry conditions to heavy rain and wet, and then back again over the course of 3 laps. But as we know from the original, there's an awful lot more kinds of weather that can happen. The weather conditions obviously change how you're going to attack corners, where you're going to brake, what tyres you're going to want on your car, but what's going to be particularly powerful in this game is that the weather effects can be regional, so a cloud can be raining over one particular corner or sector while the sun is shining elsewhere and drying the track there. That's impressive stuff, and again it takes us one more step closer to the kind of things that we hear in the commentary and team radios of real-world motorsports. And as you're playing the game, it means that you're thinking, oh hold on, how is the track doing? What do I need to do to actually be fast and survive in this situation? Of course, in this day and age, real-world sports live alongside esports, and Slightly Mad have really embraced this side of things. Esports functionality will be built into Project Cars 2 from day one, and there's also a director and broadcaster view, but everybody will be able to take advantage of the ability to set up your own online championships. The game's actually going to go as far as including competitive racing license accreditation, blurring some of those lines between the real and digital world. And last but not least for this video, virtual reality. VR support, they've said, will be built in for day one, and we did actually manage to get to try the game with Oculus Rift. To put it simply, it is great in VR, and as I've said countless times with racing games, playing a racing game in VR just does such a lot more to immerse you in the racing and give you that believable feeling of leaning into corners, looking into mirrors and all of that stuff. So Oculus Rift is obviously supported. Going off the first game, it's quite likely that HTC Vive will be as well, but PSVR at the moment is up in the air. They're working on it back at the studio, I was told, but it's only a possibility at this time because they don't want to cut anything back and they don't quite know where performance is going to lie on PlayStation 4. It is all or nothing for them, and that means that it might not quite be possible on the original PlayStation 4. If that's the case, then maybe the rules could be bent so that there could be exclusive PlayStation 4 Pro support for PSVR, but we'll just have to wait and see, and there's going to be discussions with Sony about that. Anyway, that is all for this video, and as ever, thanks for watching. If you would like to see more of this in future, there's a thumbs up button and a subscribe button that you can click on or tap on somewhere around here. Something that was requested on a previous racing game video was that we have just footage, no commentary, so I'm now going to shut up and leave you with a race that carries on all the way through to the end. You might see something that you've already seen before, but I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you will join us again soon. Goodbye!